Hey guys, it's DT from Bags, and welcome to the Cash Pod, your go-to guide to building a bigger, better cash flowing business. Thank you for spending some time with us as we talk through everything related to business growth, mastering your finances, accessing capital, and scaling your business, all without being burnt out as an individual and as a founder. Welcome to 2025. We're excited to dive into some of the incredible things that we have on the horizon for us as a team at Bags, for our incredible customers and clients and future clients. And then we'll also talk about how we're going to bring more value to you as a business owner this year so that you can secure the bag and grow your business. From platform updates, new lending partners, impact reporting, and so much more. As always, let us know if you have any ideas, feedback, question, concerns, and anything for us here at Bags, because our job is to try to make it easier for you to grow your business. We're talking about 2025 and all of our plans. Iggs, thank you so much for joining me as always. Yeah, Bags has a lot in store for 2025. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about some of the things that are on the horizon for us, some of the things that we're hoping to bring to market that will be really helpful to our businesses that we work with and some of our incredible partners. But before we do so, Iggs, will you just touch on quickly, like kind of the theme for us in 2025?
Money, money, money. Yeah, I think, for us, biggest theme of 2025, at least to start off the year, is keep doing what we're doing, but do it better. Like literally better every week. We know we have something that's really useful and really valuable, and we're getting, great results for our customers, great feedback from our customers. But we know that it's just the beginning, and we want to keep doing it faster, better, more consistently, constantly. And then also, I think, always sprinkle a little bit of magic on top of that, kind of 90% of the same. We want to make sure that what we do feel just that little bit more special than anything that's out there.
Well, I actually think it's interesting. I think in order to talk about 2025, we also need to talk about what we learned in 2024. And because in late 2023, we had a kind of we had like a gut feeling and a bunch of data that said if we rolled out bookkeeping and accounting for our businesses, it would increase their access to capital. So we did that in 2024. And we started out doing it really, really manually. We brought in an incredible team and we built an incredible platform to allow us to provide even more value, offering a similar thing, but within the context of an incredible platform and platform experience, which includes some new awesome features like, bringing the power of a fractional CFO from a reporting perspective to every single business that we work with, which is something that like people pay thousands of dollars every single month for, and they shouldn't. We think that should be pretty affordable to businesses. So that's been one big thing of 2024. Another really big thing of 2024 is building a better way for businesses to view their numbers in a way that's like actually relevant for them, their P&L, their balance sheet, cash flow coming soon. And then the last thing is like building out a better way for businesses to understand their debt strategy. Because in order to be successful, in order to use that the right way, you really need to build out a strategy that helps you understand the multiple uses of debt to solve your business's problems, to fuel different elements of growth. And so I completely agree with you, Iggs. I think 2025 for us is, I think we've built what we would call Bags version 2, which is super cool. But for you, we'll kind of break it up into the different categories. I want you to talk a little bit about like, what are some of the things that are top of mind for us that are kind of in the pipeline, not to give away everything, but like top of mind for us around our product and the value that we want to provide within our product into 2025, and like where we see some areas of opportunity there.
Yeah. Cool. This is what I get most excited about. So you can cut me short at any time. But I think the first piece is just like one of the core lessons of 2024 is that there's amazing accounting software for every business, but it's built for accountants. And we have nothing against that. We love that. We think it's amazing. But we also realize that there isn't amazing software that gives founders and operators and business owners utility of those accounting numbers and makes them useful on running your business week to week, running your business month to month. A lot of the work we did in 2024 was bringing that like kind of scaffolding and architecture into place to build upon and iterate there. So I think the first piece is we want to make your accounting numbers useful to you on a week-to-week basis, front and center, and we want you, like, Bags to be the first place you go when you want to get the pulse on your business. I think that's how we think about the numbers. That's how we think about the product, and everything that we're building into it is with that in mind. Or another lesson that we've learned is that founders have an amazing sense of what they want to know about the business, but they have a very different way of thinking about those questions just based on their background, right? Like a marketer will ask a question in a different way than a banker will, than a different way than a dentist will. And all of these people can be our customers because all of these people are business owners. And so we are doing a lot of work around how we can bring kind of nuanced and versatile analytics to you as a founder that respond to how you think, right? It's not super templated. It's not super structured. It's very much like, ask us the question. We want to give you the answer that works for your business, not for any business, but for your business. And I think kind of that's a second theme that I would get into, which is like personalized and nuanced analytics. I think that's how I would summarize it. Thinking about small businesses, you could have two laundromats that think about their operations in totally different ways, right? You could have two CPG products that just have a completely different way of forecasting. And there's no right or wrong. I think there are so many approaches. And what we wanted to make sure is that Bags is a place that, as a founder, I can go in and I feel like I am getting my questions answered and I understand my business better. And then I think the third piece is really about that accessibility of AI that you've been talking about, right? Like AI is huge. It's everywhere. We all talk, like we hear it, I think, you hear it once a day somewhere in the news, the advent of AI, is AI going to take over? And like, it's super exciting and great, but to us, AI is a supplement to these two things.
Yep.
And we're introducing it or more heavily into our platform so that you feel like you have a better grip on your business. Again, super personalized, super customized, but also you have access to insights that used to be really expensive and kind of walled off from small business owners and really only accessible to larger corporations or businesses that could afford a CFO or businesses that could afford a financial advisor at a fancy bank. Right now, what we realize is like that should be accessible. That shouldn't be incredibly expensive. And that should be at every business owner's fingertips, no matter what size they are. And so that's really what we're thinking about for 2025, besides, of course, quality of life improvements to what's already in the Bags platform, which we're really excited about.
No, I'm just excited. I want to shout out, of course, to the Bags product team, including, of course, Ignacio, because I think a big lesson in 2025 for us was like really ensuring that we had the right team, honestly, to build the product that we knew our market needed. And I think, shout out to Luke, our Eng lead here, who's been a big part of that. I think the shift in how we've approached building our product internally has been the unlock, right? To allow us to move at a pace that is both fast and of a certain quality that we're hoping for. Because, I think about it like this, and we want to be operating at 100%, but it's 50% of its pace of execution, 50% of its quality of execution, right? And we want to be operating 80% plus. So we can't just be super quality and no pace, or a lot of pace and no quality. We got to have both. And I think we're batting 100 right there. Which, for all the founders listening, sometimes part of the job is to know when things aren't working, and then make sure that you find the right talent when things are working, and double down. Because it really can make a big difference for you. And I think it's made a huge difference for us. Okay, so let's transition to another big thing that we have in store for 2025, which is impact. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you about it because I think I'd love to hear your take on it. I think right now I kind of summed up what we learned in 2024 and what that's bringing for 2025 for us, but around like the impact that we want to have as a business, that's hasn't changed since 2020. And I think we've learned a lot of lessons since then. Can you kind of take us on that journey? Because it's not a 1 year journey. It's really 4 there.
Yeah. Wow. For 4.5 years now of a journey. So, business was started for the purposes of driving impact, right? Giving businesses better access to capital to better enable them to grow, to allow them to generate more wealth, to hire great people, to build better companies, to help the economies that they're a part of. And that's always been our North Star, and it's still our North Star today. And I'd say what's characterized the first couple years was, at least the first, I'd say 18 months, was just like trying stuff to understand what the problems were to try to build something. So we realized the problem was businesses need a better way to access debt capital and figure out how to use it for growth. Then we thought the solution was, let's build a lending marketplace. Well, that really didn't work that well. In 2023, I think we originated a couple $1 million in loans. And, and we think about our own impact as a business, and we think about even how much money we spend as a company and how much money we're able to, in turn, give our businesses access to from a lending perspective. Like, we probably spent about $2 million in 2023, and we only generated $2 million in terms of lending, which honestly isn't that good. It's not what we wanted to, why we got into this business. And then through all of the lessons that we mentioned earlier around how we could solve this problem better, I think what's kept us moving forward down this path is that we found alignment between our own business's growth from a revenue perspective, how much we're allocating in terms of our own capital and resources into costs to fuel what our customers need, and a subsequent increase in our customers getting access to loans, right? And as a byproduct of that, we've seen almost an X increase in total loans originated, which is also 8 times the amount of money we spent on our own operating costs, just generally, right? And subsequently, like, we've grown tremendously from a revenue perspective as a business. And so when I think about 2025, throwing out rough numbers, and one thing that I want to throw in there is that we actually do have a report on the state of Black-owned businesses as an opportunity for lending, and our impact here at Bags coming out in the next couple of weeks. So if you want more color in some of those details, because I think there's some really exciting things coming out of there. Our goal, we want to increase the total numbers on the board. Right? We hopefully, we originated $15 million in loans in 2024. I don't see a reason why we can't 3 to 5 times that amount and really grow and increase our impact and increase the ratio of number of businesses we work with to number of total loans, which right now is at a $1 to $90,000 per business ratio, which is really significant. Like, that's a lot of impact. So yeah, that's for me, like, that's if we think about like our end results of the year, it's like, of course, hey, great, we want to be profitable as a company and some of these other things, but like, I want to show a real continued increase in good dollars lent to businesses, and then continue to report on how that is resulting in helping and bettering these businesses' growth.
Yeah, and I love that. And I think it even falls within this theme of like doing more of the same. At like
100%.
a really high meta sense for us, right? Like, we've changed the business, we build Bags Point 2.0, like whatever we call it, like how we do things has changed. But I think the one thing that has always remained the same for us is like that aspiration for more impact. And I think the times where we felt frustrated as founders, really more than anything, is when we don't feel like we're having an impact as a team, or where we feel like we could be having more of an impact. And I do think that 2025 is going to be that. And I think just to even add some color on to the numbers you were sharing, it's like, if you work with Bags, it takes half the time to get a loan than the average loan out there, because your books are clean, because you're working with someone that's going to point you in the right direction, because our algorithm does so much sorting for you that you don't have to spend like days or weeks Googling potential loans. And I think, like, for us, what I love about the business and how we're thinking about it for this year is that we know what the process metrics are to hit, so that top line impact grows, right? Like, so that it's almost inevitable, if we're doing the right things at the right volume consistently for our customers and keeping them at the heart of everything we do, like, it's inevitable that impact will come. And I think, the aspiration really is that eventually it's a systemic thing, right? It's not just through Bags that access to capital increases, but the way that we're working becomes a little bit, hopefully, contagious in a good way, right? And that more lenders look at businesses the way we see businesses. And I think that's why I'm super excited about the impact report too. don't want to share too much there because you got to leave something up for surprise. But I think it's really important. It's a really important way to share the lessons that we've learned in those 4 years through the data and the numbers. And I think because we've been super focused on the impact with kind of like this sub thing of being a little bit of data nerds and wanting to have data no matter what version of the company it was, we've been able to look at the state of these businesses over 4 years and really understand what the potential is, what our impact has been, what our potential impact can be. And bringing that energy into 2025 is super exciting for me.
I couldn't agree more. And I think one of the big things in store for 2025 for us is with the information and the learnings that we have on the potential that exists within minority and women-owned businesses. And in that impact report, we'll be talking specifically about Black-owned businesses, with a little bit more information on women-owned businesses more largely. But it really is an opportunity. And I think one of the biggest things that is in store for Bags in 2025 is working with some incredible institutions and incredible partners to think critically about like what's in store and how we could create new lending products. And to the point of systemic change, like that's kind of the dream goal. It's like, hey, we can show you why these are incredible businesses that should receive capital and that have a higher likelihood of repaying that capital. But now it's your job as a potential lender or financial institution to deploy that capital or create the products that fit these businesses' needs, right? And so, for me, like when we talk about where I allocate my time and your time and what, like that's a big part of where I'm going to be spending my time is talking to some incredible financial institutions. We've got some really big partnerships that are going to be announced in the next few months that, really show that there are both institutions and individuals at those institutions who are thinking critically about the future of small business lending and trying to do something about it. And because like, if we can do that, then like, not our work here is complete. There'll always be more work to do, but like, that's the kind of big thing that will, if done correctly, really, really, really continue to move the needle in the direction we need it to.
Yeah, I love that. And I put this, like, I love being at the center of this. I love being at the center of like, go to businesses that want to operate well and grow, right? So if you're one of them, come work with us. And of individuals and institutions that want to support those businesses. I think having us there and placing ourselves there and doing the work to deserve to be there, because I think that's the standard that we hold ourselves to, is like we want our work to be so good that it's a no-brainer for both sides to partner with Bag. I think it's a special mix, and I'm really excited for us to carry it through into this year with so much clarity as well, and so much kind of not just the aspiration and ambition, but also the operational execution underneath on the how.
One last shameless plug, because this is something that is definitely coming up in 2025. Bags is a financial management partner as well as a debt strategy partner for our businesses. What is coming in the future is that if you have your own accountant or bookkeeper that you love, but you need support from a lending perspective and don't want to pay a fractional CFO and want fractional CFO insights on a monthly basis, there is a Bag subscription, not going to say when, that is likely coming out in 2025 that is built exactly for you. We will give you the power of a fractional CFO in your pocket and give you the ability to understand when to access debt, how to manage debt, and how to deploy it effectively, all in one subscription. So stay tuned. It's coming soon. I'm really excited about bringing that offering to the market. Sweet. And I think that is it for today's session. Thank you so much, Ignacio.
Thank you.
2025 is the money year. More to come, and look out for the Bags impact report that will also be talking about the state of Black-owned businesses as a massive market opportunity. Please share it. Please read it. Please give us feedback. And really excited to get that out into the world. Hope everyone had a wonderful new year, and we look forward to seeing you on the next Cash Pod.